Are we on the internet? We are somewhat on the internet. Good evening and welcome to another squishy episode of Talks Machina. I am the host, Brian Wayne Foster. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we'll be discussing episode 87 of Critical Role. Can you believe 87's already here? We'll also be giving out our fan art and gift of the week prizes and answering your questions with our guests, Kit Buss, Marisha Ray, Liam O'Brien, and Taliesin Jaffe. All that and more tonight on Talks Machina. Hit it, Denise. We're back. Welcome to Talks Machina. We're back. Joining me, Liam O'Brien.
Woo! Hey.
What a great move.
I'm in a hot seat, and it's hot.
We have a lot to get to tonight, so we're going to jump right to it. First up, a sponsor. Someone thought it would be a good idea again.
It's best not to call attention to it, though.
I understand. Our sponsor tonight, Qualcomm. That's correct. Qualcomm. Qualcomm and Lionsgate have teamed up for an awesome VR experience based on the upcoming Power Rangers film. Have you seen the trailer for this?
Yes, I have.
Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth,
that lady.
Pitch Perfect,
Yes.
Hunger Games?
Yes.
Elizabeth Hunger Games, Bryan Cranston, you know the drill.
Morphins.
All the stars came out for the upcoming Power Rangers film to celebrate. Our friends over at Nerdist, literally yards from where I'm sitting right now, are working with Qualcomm and Lionsgate on a massive giveaway. I was back there before the show.
Yeah.
Bunch of people in a room working on a giveaway. From now through March 10th, you can enter to win a paid trip to LA. Editor's note, is this Los Angeles or Louisiana? Do we know? Is it Baton Rouge or are they coming to Van Nuys?
Probably Louis.
It's probably LA. Oh, to see the Power Rangers movie premiere. They probably won't do that in Baton Rouge. As well as Google Pixel phones. They're giving away more free shit than we do.
Phones?
Google Pixel phones and Daydream headsets. So usually when I'm at home in the middle of the day and I find myself daydreaming, I think, you know what would go great with this?
VR goggles.
VR goggles. We'd love to see a critter win. So go to nerdist.com/Power Rangers giveaway. There it is on the screen because Denise, despite what you read online, very good at her job.
And real. Totally real.
Totally a real person. To learn more and enter to win, please go to nerdist.com/Power Rangers giveaway. Thank you to Qualcomm. They're sponsoring our gift of the week tonight, which we will get to later. Thank you, company. Now, joining Liam and I via the magic of technology, all the way from the Queen's, England. Did she hang up when I said that?
Just now, yeah, just
Please
now.
welcome our favorite artist in the entire world, Kit Buss. Yeah! There she is. Oh my goodness. Kit, what time is it there?
It's just past 3 a.m.
Just past 3
Oh,
a.m.
man. It's 3 a.m. deep down in Hades right now?
It sure is.
Now, did you stay up through the night or did you wake up when our producer Max called you and told you the unfortunate news that it was time to come on Talks Machina?
I got in a good amount of napping, so I've got my tea, I'm awake.
You know what's great is that Kit's in a picture frame right now, and I kind of want someone to do a painting of it, and then we can hang it up. We can just hang up a picture of Kit in a frame on the set, and then it'll be perfect. That's the only nice, sweet thing I'm going to say tonight.
Hi, Kit.
Hi,
Hey, it's good
how are you doing?
I'm all right. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
like
So how did you're actually the connection to Kit coming and being a part of Critical Role.
That is right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and you guys can fill us in.
Well, I went out to London for a con, and you get a wrangler, a handler, a badass to protect you, and Kit was my wrangler, and we got along, and she made amazing art of Nightcrawler for me when I was there, just because she had seen work I'd done on Wolverine and the X-Men. So she made me a piece of art, which was beautiful. And normally my wranglers don't give me beautiful art.
Yeah.
And we just stayed in touch after that, and I sort of kept track of her art online, and she still did stuff. And then Dungeons and Dragons happened in our lives, and I wanted to, just as like I think the idea was as a Christmas present, to get a picture drawn of the entire cast of Misfits. And I don't know, we talked about it for a long time, but I never really, we never locked it down. And then the possibility of a show
I'm glad
happened.
you remember it that way, because I remember it as you saying, "Oh yeah, could you do as a group portrait?" and me going, "Oh yeah, sure," and then forgetting about it. So.
It's all bathed in golden light at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
But it paid off in the end, because then when this all happened, I think I was the one, even at the beginning, that was like, we should go back to Kit and we should have like a unified look, and I love Kit's art, and I think she's the one. And then you woke up, and then we went. It was great.
We did. Well, the funny thing was, I remember getting this email from Liam kind of saying, "Oh yeah, you remember me saying that my friends and I, we've got like this little D&D thing going on. We're going to try streaming it. It's not going to be, a big thing. We just, maybe need a little bit of broadcast art and that sort of thing." I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that sounds good." And then 2 years later, here we are. This little casual D&D thing that you guys had going on.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think anybody could have probably predicted it.
Not us.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh,
Well, what's cool, Kit?
it's not surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little surprised that Leah made it this far, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
But
thought I would have been cut like at the 8 or 9 month mark.
no. We need a moral center. And then when they leave, you'll take that place.
Yeah.
Kit, we got a lot of questions in from fans, so I'm going to go through some of
wow.
these. Gabby wanted to know, how much did the cast tell you about what their characters look like, and how much did you take creative liberties?
So it was kind of a mixed bag, because I still, somewhere back in the vaults of my email account, I have the original email with all of the cast pictures and the descriptions, and I got such a range of things, anywhere from Liam kind of going, "Yeah, I picture Vax to be so tall and with hair that's probably about this length, and it's got this kind of texture to it, and he's got this many pouches and bags, and I kind of picture him with like this kind of look and things," to Laura, who literally just sent me one line, which was, "Make me look hot."
I remember that
And
too.
that was it.
Yeah.
So I had a range of descriptions to work with. The cast have always been amazing. They've always kind of given me a criminal amount of creative license to sort of embellish as I wanted to, but they've all had kind of very distinct silhouettes. And I think pretty clear images of what their characters look like from the beginning. So I think it's quite a nice kind of meeting in the middle. I hope it's a nice meeting in the middle of just kind of, of their ideas and then me just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, as it were.
Yeah. One of the other questions we got in from a lot of people was, Chris Kindle asked this, how has your interaction with Critical Role shaped your art, or vice versa? Has there ever been a dull moment since you met these nerdy-ass voice actors?
No. Well, honestly, if it weren't for Critical Role and it weren't for these guys, I wouldn't be here. Because they gave me such an incredible opportunity in the first place, and I'm always insanely grateful for the amount of faith and trust that they put in me, that Liam put in me for kind of putting me forward for it. But I think in terms of shaping the way that my art's come along, and certainly what I do now, I've definitely had work off the back of it. And more importantly, perhaps as an artist, it's really given me an opportunity to kind of improve. When I look back at the initial art that I was doing when the show first went live, the improvement curve is palpable. So,
You know,
so it's been.
even back at the beginning, though, I mean, we go to a lot of conventions, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, look, I made you this, or I drew you this, or I drew your character," and we were always touched by, you know, like the passion people have. But I'd never seen anything as sort of skillful handed to me like that. And even before we got to this point or the show, like I'm friends with people in the comic book world, and I tried to give Kit sort of like a push along even before the show, and there was a lot of compliments on her line work. And I mean, it was so far above just, look, this is my fan art I made for you. It was obviously phenomenal from the get-go.
Yeah. Man, we paid him to say that, and he said it perfectly.
I was gonna say we'll sort that out later.
Yeah, I know. I'll email you about it. Kit, a lot of people had questions about Sam's new character. What did you think when he first reached out to you and told you about this terrible person?
It figured that it would be Sam.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I got the email I think the Tuesday before Tarion dropped at the end of episode 85, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was literally just Sam and Matt, like little boys, going, "Shh, yeah, this don't yet a big secret," and it was like, oh man, shit's gonna go down.
You co-conspirator. You.
Oh no. Yeah, you're a co-conspirator in Tarion now. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but no, it was really cool. Literally, the description that I got for him was Richard Branson meets Tony Stark with a dash of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which it sounded like, how could it not be amazing? So.
Did you scratch your head, or did you have something in mind right away that kind of, when he said that, put an image in your head?
I had something in mind pretty quick. I think between the description that Sam gave and then having sort of seen Sam's propensity for flamboyant characters, it sort of seemed to make sense. So it was a massive stretch to imagine what he might turn out like. So.
Pretty sure Sam could make a cheese wedge entertaining.
Yeah.
If he wanted to.
Yeah. Flamboyant is a really sweet way to describe his characters. We have some questions about Lilith, too, also.
Okay.
Spy Machine says, Kit, so did Lilith totally hook up with Percy the night before she left? Also, you and Mary Elizabeth seriously need to do an episode together.
I would, well, to address the latter half of the question first, and perhaps the easier half of the question, I would love to do an episode with Mary. She's more or less the reason that I made Lilith a tiefling, because I just loved Zara so much. And when Matt had said, we're going to have you on for an episode, I messaged her and said, would you mind if I made a character that was Zara's cousin, because I just love Zara so much? And she was cool with it, and she was very helpful and sent me Zara's backstory and things. So, but yeah, in terms of Lilith and Percy, obviously I couldn't possibly kiss and tell.
I understand.
But I mean, you'd have to ask Taliesin that, I'm afraid.
I did. I asked him about 4 o'clock today, and I have the answer. And I was told that I would be murdered and left in a dumpster behind Arby's if I told anyone on the air. So I'm not going to.
Well, that's true.
He's standing off camera right now with an eye patch, looking at me like I just strangled his cat. Hey, so. Another question for you from the internet. We've seen reaction videos of you watching Critical Role live. What moments have triggered the strongest feelings from you while watching?
So that's really hard because it's such a long show and it's such an emotional roller coaster. I think, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, there was a bit in one of the episodes in Whitestone. I can't remember which character it was. I think it was some poor hapless henchman. Basically, Percy and Grog went to town on this guy. I think Grog pulled his tongue out.
Sounds
And
about
I
right.
was obviously I'm a model employee, but I do have a full-time job during the day, and I was listening to it in the background, and I actually had to get up and go into the bathroom for 5 minutes and stop myself crying because I almost burst into tears because I was so like, guys, what are you doing? What have you become? What's happening?
Yeah, the innocence is gone.
Like I was standing in the bathroom just like with tissue paper under my eyes going, I mustn't cry, I'm at work, get it together. So yeah.
Yeah, alignment may vary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's more than just you have done that in the bathroom regarding Critical Role before.
Talking about crying,
Yes.
right?
Are we talking about crying?
I hope so.
Oh, I didn't know she said crying. Just kidding. Next question. I can't pronounce this, so we're just gonna go. Need to say how awesome your art is. Second, it is also very distinct. What are some of your biggest artistic influences besides me?
Well, obviously, Brian, your influence cannot be understated. However,
Can't be overstated either.
When I was growing up, I read when I was in secondary school, which would be high school for you guys. I read a lot of Western comics, so I was very, very into X-Men. I was into Batman. A lot of the Marvel and DC stuff was kind of what I grew up reading. A little bit of Dark Horse as well. I think I remember reading some of the Tomb Raider comics. And so a lot of the influence in my teens was definitely Western comics. And then I got to college and I fell down the anime pit in quite a saturated way for maybe about 5 years or so. So I probably would have said that if we're kind of breaking it right down into the root influences, definitely kind of 50% Western comics and 50% anime. But then, so as I got older and I started getting more into comics, more into the industry, I discovered a lot of the Italian and French comics as well, and there's some fantastic stuff out there, and European, actually Russian as well. All of those kind of art styles have a very distinct look of their own. Things like Sky Doll, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of that in there too, which is more recent, and then obviously in terms of different artists that I see online and things like that. I think it's like most artists think of visual sponges. Like we see things we like, amalgamate that. So
Yeah, that makes sense. That's I could definitely see those influences in what you do. We have a couple more for you real quick, and then we'll let you go to bed. Tiamat ZX, Kit, what was the inspiration for Lilith, and is her story still unfolding after she and Vox Machina parted ways?
So there was definitely an influence in terms of the voice, which is that if any of you have played, you probably couldn't tell it from my horrible acting, but if any of you have played Bloodborne, the doll in The Hunter's Dream was kind of, I suppose, the initial sparking point for her, just because I love the accent and the voice and the kind of the creepy serenity about her. Lilith definitely lives on. She has an ongoing story which has in part come out in a little bit of D&D, which was DM'd by High Roller's own Mark Humes, who is my home turf DM, and also just in terms of the intention for a comic, which hopefully will happen, may or may not happen depending on schedules and stuff. But she's housemates with Wendy Doodle's druid Fawn Clover, and they go on adventures, and there's all sorts of exciting things that happen. So she lives on. She's still there.
I would watch the shit out of that.
Don't sell yourself short. You were great on that episode, and your accents were great too.
Big time.
Yeah.
I was feeling the pressure because, I was going on and I was thinking, shit, I'm going to be role-playing in a room full of voice actors who do this professionally.
You held your own, man.
I'm just an artist.
You easily held your own.
Yeah, you definitely held your own in a room full of legends and then Sam Riegel. I feel like you... Hey, Kit, last question and then what's that?
Legends and the infamous.
Yes, the infamous Thierry. Hey, every artist, this is from That Gamer Girl, every artist has one thing they hate to draw or struggle with. What's yours?
Oh God, there's probably a list. I would probably say feet and legs, joints of any sort. Actually, I really hate joints. I wish people were just made of rubber.
Yeah.
Because it's so much simpler.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Is that why you went with hooves?
Yeah, you busted.
Hey, when are you gonna come to LA and hang out with us again?
As soon as I have money.
Oh, well, we can make that happen. We have this thing called Alpha. And we have money.
It prints it, right?
We print money.
Oh my God.
Hey, you got to come hang out with us sometime soon, though. We love you. We miss you. Thank you so much for coming on. I know it's so late. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's so lovely to speak to everybody again because I miss you guys like crazy. So thank you so much for having me on.
We miss you too. Love you, Kit.
Love you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, bye. That was cool. That was cool. Hey, there's two more people on the couch. Taliesin Jaffe and Marisha Ray. Doesn't she just put you in the best mood?
She's great.
That accent, man.
I know.
Yeah.
And the way it echoed in the studio, it sounded like she was a god on high.
Yeah. You
The way
guys,
that she takes you aside and goes, no, your English accent's fine,
It's
dear. It's
great.
very adequate.
We
Yeah.
can't
Very adequate.
So adequate.
you guys at home, to the folks at home, you probably couldn't tell, but we have this speaker and her voice echoed like this beautiful cloudy chamber through the
filling the room.
Hey, how is everybody?
Pretty good.
Great.
Pretty
I've
good.
got a sequined eye patch.
Yeah, are we gonna
like
keep it on the whole time? I'm okay with it.
Mine broke.
This is like very
I'm
David
starting to-
Bowie Lost Years
Yeah.
kind of thing going on. Kind of into it.
Taliesin looks like he belongs on Melrose,
That's,
holding a
You
sign that
always
says
look
the
like you
end is
belong.
near.
Yeah.
He's just on break for this right now.
I have good news.
You gotta be back
is.
at
I'd
it.
like to tell you about my good news.
Oh, hey, before we begin talking about episode 87, let's...
Why do you say it like an asshole? Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Episode 87?
Yeah, your syllables are a little weird.
I've been listening to Rosetta Stone for English because I have a hard time saying words, as you guys know if you watch the show.
You're a little Valley Girl.
And on the
girl.
English Rosetta Stone I have, she says, episode.
Wow.
Hey, if you're on Alpha,
Up the vault.
join us for Talks Machina After Dark, which is
In
after
30
this show,
minutes?
which will be about 30 minutes from now. And this week, thanks to Courtney, who moderates our Alpha chat, we have a separate chat room for you to submit questions for Talks Machina After Dark. I believe it's called Talks Machina Questions. Submissions. Talks Machina Question Submissions. So
Yeah.
submit your questions in that aptly named chat room, and we will get to them on Talks Machina After Dark in just a few minutes.
Very aptly named.
Perfectly named.
Like, it's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is.
You know what it is
All
when
the
you
way
hear it.
to its fullest.
We do it in the dark.
Instructions and everything. Yeah.
Hey, that was the first half of the episode was fun. Hey guys,
Hi.
I can't
We'll
see.
fix that now.
first
We're here.
question.
I can't get past the eye patches,
gonna-
guys. I'm
this
really
is-
sorry.
It's starting to get to me.
You
I know,
lose
like-
depth perception real bad.
Perception
Keep it
of all
on so
sorts
that
of
when the
things.
show's over, I want to see you guys stand up and fall straight into the coffee table. Up first,
Yeah.
Nevada Prinz.
The Nevada Prince?
Did I miss something?
What?
Keyleth.
Oh,
Is
shit.
Keyleth truly holding out hope that her mother is alive after hearing what happened? And does Marisha feel the same?
I think both Keyleth and Marisha, deep down inside, as fucked up as this sounds, is kind of hoping that Mom is dead, that Mom didn't make it out alive.
Certainly simpler.
Well, because the latter means that she's still alive and that she never came back and she never told us that she was okay.
I don't even want to. I have a great idea, but I don't even want to say it out loud.
I don't want any of your Taliesin theories.
Okay.
Any
There's
of
a
your
leg
Percy
in
theories
play.
right now. What if? With the what if?
But there's a GIF. There's a leg in play though, isn't there somewhere? There's a leg.
Her leg came back.
Is it
So
possible?
it means she could be a peg leg somewhere.
Or they could be slowly growing
which
her
is
from
also
that leg.
awesome.
Oh, those are all really good. Those are all really
Like a
good.
squid.
There could be.
I thought maybe she had an ankle tattoo that she regretted.
Don't we all?
To have a dragonfly. Yeah, moves
And then
from a
she
different
just-
time.
Dolphin.
Chopped
Yeah,
off
fucking
that,
dolphin,
chopped
yeah.
off the leg despite the ankle and
There's
threw it in the
20 of
ocean.
your mom in a lab, like an alien spore, just grown out of that leg over and over again.
Just for some reason,
All
it
these
turns
melted versions of Keyleth in a
into
row.
like a weird alien spin-off out of nowhere. Yeah.
Marisha, you remember Aliens 4.
Totally.
Hey, Taliesin.
Yeah. Hello.
Caroline Petty wants to know,
Yeah.
does Percy think Vax may get a little jealous of his new bromance?
You mean Vex?
Vax? I don't think Vax is
You
going
mean
to get
Vex?
jealous.
Vax is totes cool.
Wait, where's
Well,
that?
I'll tell you all about Vax's feelings about it.
Crit roll
You want
stats?
It's so cute that she
Please
thinks that
delete your
Percy knows
account.
anything about what women think.
Taliesin, question from Caroline Petty. Does Percy think Vax may get a little jealous of his new bromance with Terry?
My respect for the person asking the question deems that I not go any further down this pit. Although I am
Still
tempted.
more.
There's more.
Oh, yeah,
Is
no,
he
he's-
aware that he may have upset Keyleth by naming Terry as friend?
He's got the social. He picks up no social cues of this kind of thing. He is used to people just telling him kind of what he wants to hear, even though while he's vaguely aware of it, at the same time he's not really thinking about it. No, he's not paying enough attention to the feelings of others to really be cued into that. It's true, but
That's fair.
he likes his new friend, but I think he likes everybody else better at this point. Like he'd be happy to toss him out in the for everybody else at this point.
Yeah.
Well, he is a teenage asshole, and we know how you feel.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
know how I feel about teenage assholes. Thank you. Have I not lived that down?
Speaking of
Thank you.
assholes, though, speaking of assholes,
Yes, sir.
a question from my and our beloved Arsqueef.
Arsqueef.
Liam.
Yeah.
Now, Arsqueef went a little crazy on the words here, so bear with me. Vax's mother's death played a huge part on his life and stayed with him all the way to the slaying of Thordak. Does Vax have any plans to help Keyleth deal with this better if her mother does turn out to be dead? Then there's a message to Denise under a spoiler cut that says to flash the question once if she's safe, twice if she needs help. Don't flash the fucking... Anyway, don't interrupt Liam's... Arsqueef, I'm calling you after the show. I hope your number's 888 Arsqueef.
Denise hasn't been given food or water in a full week.
Exactly.
Wait, we changed the doggy pad in her cage.
Oh my
She's
God.
fine.
You're going to make the
She's
internet
fine.
go crazy. Liam, sorry.
Yeah.
Please,
Hey, that's okay.
Please answer this question from someone named Arsqueef.
Arsqueef, I don't know how to predict what's going to happen. I really think in this situation, all Vax can do is to be there for her, whatever happens, to listen and to stab things if they need to be stabbed, and to hold her antlers
Are we
if she
talking
needs to
about-
destroy someone.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. Hold my antlers.
Yeah,
Hold my antlers.
he'll hold her antlers
Yeah.
as long as
While she
necessary.
pukes? If she's too drunk, it's like, hold my antlers.
Whatever the situation may
If I'm either
be.
getting in a fight or puking.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be interesting
both.
to see what happens. This is for Liam, Marisha, and Taliesin. This question comes from Ian Froud. Last week, we saw your characters sailing the seas and dealing with pirates. We also saw some of you, in and out of character, geek out about pirates. If you or your characters could choose a pirate name for yourself, and or a name for your own ship, what would it be?
I don't know if I can answer that, although I will say that I once, with my old roommate Lori, who was occasionally wonderfully, bless her, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, occasionally brilliantly gullible. We went, me and my friend Caddy gave her like a 45-minute talk about Jinkies Velma the Pirate Queen that we made up, and she was just on board for the entire story of Jinkies Velma the Pirate Queen before finally finding out we were just fucking with her.
Jinkies Velma.
Jinkies Velma the Pirate Queen.
Pirate
and
Queen.
like,
Jinkies Velma.
I was like, yeah, you remember Jinkies Velma? Jinkies Velma the Pirate Queen? And like we actually had like, yeah, we were just fucking with her.
Is it Jinkies named after Jinkies?
Jinkies, I don't know why we called her Jinkies Velma other than it's kind of a vague Scooby-Doo reference and that had been what we had seen recently.
Yeah, that's what
Velma's
I
thing,
thought.
yeah.
Jinkies Velma.
Yeah, I know, but
Jinkies
get it?
Velma.
Jinkies? Because
Yeah.
It's a
Jinkies?
Jinkies Wilma. And we might have changed it halfway through.
Like Jinkies Cafe.
Ship
Yeah.
name? Pirate name?
Ship name?
Ship name or ship name?
Ship name?
Well, I
Or
mean, ship name is Vaxlith, I guess.
Ship name is Vax.
I mean, I think the fans
they're referring
came up with
to
that.
Much beloved universally.
Yeah. No controversy at all.
Never
Everyone
challenged?
loves that ship name.
No.
Yeah.
What about a pirate name for you guys?
Oh, the salty bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's original.
What about the beardless wonder? We all miss the beard, man.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
You'll get over it.
It was sexy.
It'll be back someday.
Purple Mane. I don't know, I got nothing.
The purple mane.
I like doing the
Purple
voice
Mane?
though. It's a lot of fun to do the voice.
I would ride on the Raven's Lullaby or the Ocean's Bulge.
Okay. Okay.
I would
Respect.
Go on,
Dignity and impotence.
dignity and impotence.
Oh,
Can't
man.
top that. That's. I'll ride on the dignity and
How I
impotence.
got thrown out of college.
Impotence. Thank you for that as well. But I'm working on that.
Both.
I love you.
Hey, what? Okay.
Dignity, impotence, and impotence.
Terrible.
The
Terrible.
USS Impotence and Impotence.
Okay. Two options. We move on or we cut the feed. I'll let you guys decide. A question from A Song of Earth and Air. Marisha. Will the possibility that this Kraken killed Keyleth's mother make it hard for her to hold back her aggression like with Raishan?
That's an interesting question that I haven't thought about that far. It's a little different because, like, if she died because of the Kraken, she died because of the Aramente. That was a part of the Aramente, and if she couldn't cut it, then that's kind of part of the deal. People are kind of expected to die doing that. Raishan was different because she was an outside force affecting our shit, which isn't cool. The Kraken, it's a little different. I don't know, this is more of a test and less of someone being a massive dick, which is what Raishan was.
Right.
Do
Does
we
that
know
answer your question?
how intelligent the Kraken is? That Kraken could be barely above an animal, like Grog intelligence.
Right. Yeah, he
and
could just be
Raishan
acting
is-
on animal instinct.
Yeah.
I keep, every time I get worried about the Kraken, I keep flashing back to the third act of the Popeye musical with Robin Williams and being like, that's the fight I want to see. Is
Shelley
just
Duvall?
Shelley Duvall is going, the giant marionette octopus is going, oh.
Probably the best role she ever did, by the way.
And it's
She was
also
a great olive oil.
It's one of the greatest Krakens on film, really.
Yeah,
Like, it is a
yeah.
spectacular Kraken
Also,
fight.
have you watched that film in
Yeah,
the
no, it's
latest
great.
time?
I love it.
It's insane.
I love it.
It's a clusterfuck.
It's amazing.
People are talking at the same time.
Oh, yeah, no, talking over
No
each
one
other.
knows what's going
All
on.
the music is discordant and doesn't make any sense.
And our host left.
And we've actually,
So
like,
that's pleasant.
it's
We
actually,
took
it's like,
away the host
we
of
have
our
finally
show.
found his kryptonite. It's the Popeye musical.
We don't need a host. We're good.
We have Robin Williams and fake arms.
Yeah, we have got latex arms. We can talk for days about that.
Well, it's time to give away some free shit.
Welcome to Pop's Machina.
It's time. Yes, exactly. Each week, you critters capture moments from the show and make hilarious and/or awesome gifts. We like to feature some of them for our Gift of the Week.
Here it comes.
Gift of the week.
This week's winner was sent in by Nick Stauffer, aka Kazimar1990 on Twitch and Twitter. Yes. Let's take a look, Denise. This looks great. Yes. Yep. Yep. That one's.
That's what I see every night before we turn the lights off.
That's what Sam's kids see every night too, unfortunately. Thank you to everyone who submitted, and congratulations to you, Nick. For that, you will be winning this Critical Role shirt.
Whoa.
And wristband thing, which says, how to do this. Remember, to enter our Gift of the Week contest, you must submit your gifts to toxmachina@gmail.com. Tell your friends, and if you see an awesome GIF on Twitter or Tumblr or any other site that you can think might win, give the person who made it a heads up to submit it because they may not know.
Is that at gmail.org? I'll leave.
It's a.
God, we got
The
punchy tonight.
only joke that would have been worse than that is if you would have said, "Is it a Jamon.saord?"
That's kind of what I thought you were going
Which
for,
is
to
a
be
joke
honest.
That was the joke.
a joke that Max wrote on this card for me to say. I thought it was so bad. Linksis wants to know.
Wait. Can I just point out that you took credit for a joke, we laughed at it, and then you called out the guy who made it and then said it was shitty. Sorry, Max. We love you, Max.
Wait, how long have you guys?
You're doing so much work, Max.
How long have you guys
it's
known
only
me?
fair.
I do two things. I take credit for other people's jokes when they're funny. And the other is I can help you get an ankle monitor off without anybody knowing. Question for Linksis, from Linksis for Taliesin. You often say that Percy doesn't trust/understand magic. How does he feel about the magical effects that he does use? Magic items, magic initiate feat?
Well, if he could get rid of the magical feats, then he would, but he can't. That is definitely a thing that he would definitely change if he could. The magical items that he uses are kind of, they're thin, they're not very magical, and they're a lot of them are by their very nature kind of almost anti-magical by their construction. He's a little lighter on the alchemical and alchemy theories, just because that's the notion. That's the notion of applying scientific method to magic, which he at least is like, okay, at least you're trying to make this make sense, and I respect that, and eventually you'll figure that out, and then it won't be alchemy anymore, and then I'll be okay with it. But like, yeah, he doesn't like not knowing why something doesn't work.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that Cabal's ruin is thinly magical? Only if you mean literally, and then that's like a thin cloak.
It is magical, and he uses it because, but he's not quite yet at the point where he would rely on it, and if it were like his only thing, he would feel very uncomfortable.
Well, it's an interesting world because our world is ripe with magic,
Yeah.
right? So why wouldn't you go just for that? So it's interesting that you've got this guy who's like, yeah, that's really fascinating and amazing, but look at all this fucking physics over here, man. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, this is I know how this works. This thing just like is, I don't know what powers it. I don't really know how it works. I mean, I'm using it, and I like that it's actually giving me a layer of protection from things that I genuinely don't understand.
Is that how you also feel about Keyleth?
On a certain level?
That she's thinly reliable and might be full of shit.
No, he's
but it's hard to tell.
he's entirely prepared for the moment where you are utterly vulnerable because whatever it is that powers you stops for reasons that you do not understand or know.
can't stop
like
laughing.
he is totally prepared for that notion where he's like, I understand how a bow and arrow works and what it would take to make that not work, but like someone could walk in and snap their fingers and suddenly nothing's working, and I wouldn't know what to do about it other than to just shoot them until they went away.
I wield the raw forces of nature, motherfucker.
Oh no, and he totally respects that.
Is it a little bit? Is it a little bit of like Tony Stark talking to Thor and Doctor Strange, going, "Yeah, okay, magic, but it's really science. You just don't understand that it's science."
No, well, I mean, like, you can't say that in a world like this because it's obviously not science. It's too weird and out there. Like, he respects that it's completely different and it's not science.
Okay.
But it's more of the Batman thing of like, I could do this and I could learn how to do this, but then one day it would stop working and I wouldn't know why or how to fix it. Mm-hmm. And like, that's just, that's risky. Like, I have it and I will use it on occasion, but like, I have to know that I'm gonna be okay if it just goes away suddenly. Yeah. And like, he won't use anything that if it went away, he couldn't be fine with. Like, that little extra D6 in his gun, that could go away and I'd be like, fine. And the cloak would stop working and be fine. But yeah, he would not only learn magic or learn more magic, because that's just more things that if they suddenly went away, he wouldn't have the slightest clue how to make it. He can fix the gun when it breaks.
Right.
But he can't fix the magic if it goes away. He's very distrustful of it.
Interesting.
I'm right here.
He loves you. He thinks you're great. You just,
Hey, you want to talk about gods?
No.
No.
I don't know if you guys at home can tell. I went into a little laughing thing because I don't know if you guys can tell, but Taliesin has this bird on his shoulder, and whenever he looks to Marisha to talk, it's happened 3 times already. His mouth has hit the bird. He keeps turning his head when Marisha says something, and he hits the bird, and I'm dying laughing over here.
I was going to pull the bird off at the very end of the show, but I can do it now just to fucking...
Like the rankest looking bird.
Grog, no.
Fuck.
Well, there goes Dagon.
Dude.
Sorry, buddy.
Wow.
You definitely have bird flu now.
This is just like.
Stop.
This is just like.
If we've learned anything about me, is that I will put anything in the studio in my mouth at this point.
This
That
is
like pretty
okay.
reasonable.
Right here.
Can't go an episode of Talks without Taliesin saying something where the internet goes phrasing.
I know what I said. It's true.
You watching you rip that bird into your mouth was like watching those Ozzy Osbourne things they'd show you in Sunday school to get you to only listen to their shitty music.
I had this action figure as a kid with all the little plastic head, like birds without heads.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Liam.
Yeah. Yes.
This week, we saw the twins get competitive about healing someone.
Oh, yes, I remember it well.
Is there anything the two of them won't try to one-up each other about?
You know, I used to think so. I think Vax would be a little more relaxed, but Laura keeps surprising me in new and surprising ways. I just meant to slide in and give a little goose there, just for a little flavor.
Of course.
Yeah. I think we're both a little competitive. She's really the competitive one.
I picked up on that.
Yeah, she's not watching, is she?
Because of the episode where 1 through 87.
Mm-hmm.
Good episodes.
I can hear my phone vibrating on the floor behind me. She's mad, her attorney's calling me. Everyone, now that you've seen Teary, T-E-A-R-Y, that's the correct spelling?
Did they name it Teary?
No, they didn't.
No.
Now that you've seen Teary in a real fight, are you more comfortable about having him travel with you, or are you still afraid that he might be a liability?
Oh, I mean, he's definitely a liability.
I feel like any character played by Sam falls under the list.
I agree. Yeah.
In a good way, like in a good way.
Scrappy do.
I mean, he definitely has a lot of... That's perfectly put. He has a lot of power, but he's still a dipstick. There's no question that he's a dipstick.
Yeah,
So Scrappy
Yeah.
he is. He's
got
Scrappy
puppy
Doo.
power.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy showed up looking like a rose gold iPhone.
Rose gold iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, with hair that it's hard to believe it's not butter.
So he clearly has some power and ability. Whether he can put them to applied usage at a continued pace is debatable.
I think we're going to find out he's really, 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 really good at something, and it's going to be something that is not helpful. It's just going to be some random...
He has boating shoes.
Well,
So
He
explain.
does have boating
And
shoes.
apparently, what's that called?
I don't know. You're saying an S.
Semaphore.
Semaphore.
That
I
was
almost
funny.
said sommelier, but that's the art of
that's
knowing
the-
what wine tastes like.
That's the person
That's a
who's
different
been.
douchey thing.
That's
to
the
know
person who's
about.
been handing you mugs all day, and since you've been here.
I love wine,
Californian
by the way. I'm not
alcoholism.
shitting on sommeliers.
Hey, listen,
More wine.
Marisha. I don't think anyone's gonna write any strongly worded letters after the show about
You
you
don't-
shitting on sommeliers. But it is Marisha, so we will hear about it on the internet, though. Hey, question for you while we're. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say while Denise had the camera on you, but she sucks at her job. Hey, Marisha, has Keyleth picked up on the fact that Thierry might have a crush on her? If so, what does she think about it?
I don't know if Thierry has a crush on her. I think he's maybe mildly infatuated. Sorry.
One more time, just give us a clean pass and then we'll move on.
Can we get her a fresh glass of wine?
Can we get a
please?
fresh glass of sommelier?
This is whiskey that I poured in something else, and the cream kind of
Okay.
Congealing into something exciting.
congealed. It kind of curdled.
Just for any
It's
of
a
our
little
viewers
gross.
that might be eating or standing near a child, you can keep that out of it.
This has
Turkey
been.
gravy.
It's pretty gross looking.
Has
pretty
Keyleth picked up on the fact?
No, look. Okay.
This is my favorite episode of whatever the fuck this show is. This is exactly what happens.
This is the most true to life.
This is what happens when friends try to put on a talk show.
That's true.
This is where everybody
We
figures
for-
out. We're
we
just
for-
watching
blaming the
idiots
barbecue.
take over a
Oh my God.
studio for an hour.
Once again, I feel like you last episode. I'm not even drunk. I've just been here all day.
I know.
I'm just tired. I've just been here all goddamn day.
So has
What was the question? Okay, no.
Terry has
Terry.
Keyleth picked up on the fact that
Keyleth appreciates that he thinks she's awesome, because kind of for a long time I feel like half of the party thought that Keyleth was a massive fuck up. So it's kind of nice having someone that's like,
way back when
"You're
she was dropping in
awesome."
lava and stuff.
That's a whole
Episode.
4 episodes ago. Yeah. I mean, she's always had Vax, which has kind of like helped to validate her and like okay, you're not a total failure at life.
Percy built you something too, many, many years ago.
Not on stream.
Not on stream, no, but before stream. Never on stream.
It's been a long time
been a
since
long
you built
time.
me anything. You
You
took
don't-
all of
you
your
don't
time
need it
building
anymore.
things to woo Vex.
You don't need it anymore. You got your shit together.
I'm kind of awesome.
Yeah. Other than like really good like running shoes with tread, I suppose would be like
Yeah,
one.
Keds. I could use some good,
Oh Lord.
some good soccer cleats so I don't faceplant in lava.
I don't
Lava
think the
cleats.
cleats would have
Lava
helped. Yeah, lava cleets. I feel like that's a band Taliesin was
It
in.
is.
high
It's a good.
school.
It's a
Anyway,
bad
she's
ska band.
noticed and it's appreciated.
Yeah,
It's my
interesting.
short answer. And I could use some Keds. That's the long answer.
Well, Keds, if you're watching, Liam, question for you.
You heard Denise off camera go, oh God.
Denise, you don't want a pallet of Keds sent by whoever makes Keds now? Is it a giant Chinese conglomerate by any
Kedco.
chance? Question for Liam from Kelsey A. Hendricks.
Oh, hi, Kelsey.
Liam, after the huge prank war with Grog,
Yeah.
It's over.
what is compelling Vax to take care of our baby Goliath?
Oh man, so much has changed between all of them. If you go back to the dragons hitting, he was at odds with Grog. But then you get thrown into the trenches with other soldiers, and you bond. And I think that all the sort of family trouble that was there is gone, and he's here watching this big, strong dude who maybe doesn't have enough me time with his feelings, has lost his 2 little buddies, and I don't know, he clearly, he said it, he told me, clearly loves the guy and wants him to be happy, and I don't know, I don't trust Travis, I'm not talking about Grog, but Travis to reawaken the prank war, but things have changed at this point. I think that he feels closer to Grog, and while Grog could still murder him in his sleep or in his wake, he cares for the guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost out of time,
No.
which means more free shit.
Yeah.
In addition to our gift of the week, you, the fans, send in incredible fan art for moments during Critical Role, and we like to reward you for those as well. It's time for fan art of the week, Denise. Now, we told you about the Wormwood prizes and how they're going to ramp up every week as the fan art contest continues, and our scrutiny of the fan art is going to ramp up with the fanciness of the Wormwood. Now, I was informed today that this whole line of Wormwood gifts that we're giving away is like the Carpenter's Choice, which means they're the most expensive. You have to, it's like the most expensive stuff that they offer. Yeah. Ooh. So I'm winning every week.
Choice.
Yeah, all of these are my, sommelier's choice.
Yeah.
This week's winner is incredibly unique. So we had to give our fan art of the week to Ryan Johnson. Let's take a look, Denise. Now this is I knew she was gonna do this. Okay.
Oh, Denise.
All right.
Magic is 2 weeks.
Play the
Oh.
So these are images of a 3D model that Ryan made and sent to us last week, which completely blew us away. There's more?
Maybe.
That is so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Is
Look
he
at that
gonna
texture.
Is he gonna send this to you? And then we can put it on the set.
I don't think it exists
That is
physically
so
yet.
great. Well, it will.
Wow.
That is so
wow.
crazy. Yeah, it was a little unique, but we had to give that to Ryan
Yeah.
this week. Thank you for submitting, Ryan, and for all your hard work. You will be receiving this East Indian Rosewood Hero Vault. Do we have this camera anymore now that Amandine's not here? We don't. Goodbye, Amandine. We miss you.
Oh, rip Amandine.
I hope you're okay in Switzerland. Oh, there we go. It's the East Indian Rosewood Hero Vault.
Oh, for my next magical trick.
For my next trick, and
And that's how it works.
yeah, it's magnetic, but always the first few times they're really hard to pull apart. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Please remember to send in your fan art to talksmachina@gmail.com anytime before Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you to everyone for submitting. Let's move on.
Woo!
Final lightning round
On with the
of
shizzo.
questions. Liam Marisha Tallison, question from MJXG. Someone too lazy to make a full username, as good as Gummy Bear Wookie or Rim Steve Jobs. A couple episodes back, when Vex showed Grog the deck of cards, Travis's response of "Where did you find one?" got amazing responses from the three of you. What is your favorite impromptu response from a past episode that left you floored?
Like snatched out of the air, pulled from the butt kind of thing?
There's so
man.
many. I don't
Everybody
even know
is.
to.
It's tough. Matt and I actually had this conversation just the other night where I feel like all of us have gotten so comfortable and so quick on all of our responses as our characters that it's like always impressive. One of my recent favorite ones was Percy walking in to the room with Grog and him saying, "Prove that it's really you." And you just said,
no.
"No."
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, all right,
No,
it's you."
Yeah, that was
Like,
yeah.
that
I was really hoping he was going to go with me on that one.
That
I
was
quite
amazing.
pleased.
Well, that's always the best when you set up a, like that's always
Yeah,
the
I
best
set
gift
it-
for an improver when you set up a joke and then your
He
partner
set it up
follows
for
it
me,
through.
and then I set it up for him, and
Yeah.
then he's so fast. That boy is so fast.
Yeah.
It's painful.
That was a good one.
I could pick one for everybody. The
Yeah.
one that's coming to mind right now is Pike reading Scanlan's letter immediately after he said, "Please don't read this," and left.
That was really
she
good.
said she opens it immediately.
Yeah, that was good.
Laura in the bathtub was genius.
Yeah, that was
I,
good.
I don't like that one.
I know
that one's
you
not
don't.
good.
That
I
one
know.
is Liam's favorite. He told me
Yeah.
before the
not
show.
good.
Yeah.
There's so much.
That was bad, and she should feel bad.
She should feel bad.
God, there's I mean,
There's
like
so
it
many.
happens all the time.
Sam's the king of that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Oh, yeah,
like
Sam's-
he's-
Yeah,
Sam's
I walk by
fast.
with no pants eating chicken.
yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, we'll
There's
think of
so
some
many
more.
good ones.
Yeah.
You've never played Boulder Parchment Shears?
Oh yeah,
Parchment Shears was pretty spectacular.
Oh, that's got to be a shirt. That's got to be
that
a
was
shirt.
really-
Boulder Parchment
It's
Shears,
so
yeah.
inside, but that's what I love about it is people. A critter will see another critter wearing that and be
sitting
like,
there at some point, and I remember we were like playing with, is it Boulder Paper Shears or Boulder Parchment Shears?
Shears.
Yeah.
And then we eventually went, I was the Boulder Parchment Shears Dragon
Wizard.
Elf.
Oh.
Yeah, because Lizard
Dragon
Spock.
Elf.
Yeah,
Lizard-
so Lizard
Lizard
Spock
Spock.
was Dragon Elf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taliesin. Sometimes I watch TV. Wants to know.
Me too. Oh, okay.
Was
You were just
Percy
telling me.
thrown off by Vex's question on whether or not he heard her? Had you and Matt decided that previously, or were you as on the spot as it seemed?
We had decided previously. We actually decided I don't remember if we decided before or during a convention we were at where we were having that conversation, because one of the audience members who was in this amazing Vex cosplay was like, I want to know, did you hear it? And we had to I made her roll for it, if I recall. It's like roll a d20, and depending on how well you roll, Matt will decide if you get to know. And I was like, fuck, I guess, yeah, I got to deal with that at some point now. I was not prepared to have that conversation, but I knew it was coming eventually. So
Interesting.
that was I really enjoyed that whole scene. That was great.
I just like what's happening. Screw what this guy says. I love what's happening.
It's such a fun, weird, not quite as evil as Sid and Nancy, but it's just it's so wonderfully punk rock for the character.
That's what I kind of like
Both of
about
them.
it, because I'm with you, Tumblr.
Yeah, well, look, we represent like the kind of safe, healthy relationship, and you guys represent the total bad decision.
No, but leaning positively into the bad decision,
Yeah.
like the great bad decision.
Sure.
I'm a big believer in a bad
Sure.
decision
I also
relationship.
feel like, and this is your call because it's your character,
Please.
but it feels like all through this show, Vax watching you and you asking Vax to watch him. It seems like Percy, if he wanted to, could turn into a Sith. You know, he could easily. He shot a kid through the hand just to get some
Yeah.
information. He suggested killing off Ravenites because he thought it was the thing to do in the moment. He gave
did totally
he gave that
suggest
sword to
genocide.
Grog. Giving that sword to
Yeah.
Grog was like, you remind me exactly of my abusive ex-boyfriend. I have the perfect person to set you up with.
Yeah.
Those are not good things to do.
No, they're not.
They're not good. And I feel like without Vex in his life, he would veer off that way.
I haven't thought about it, but I definitely would agree with you on that. Is that she's he needs a very positive negative influence in his life, and she's a very positive negative influence.
He needs an
Kinda-
anchor, though.
He'd never go with an anchor.
Right,
She's-
but we all know how, well, some of us do, not me because I'm alone.
I know.
But we all know how love and relationships can change. No, I'm kidding. I'm not alone. Ashley, if you're watching, come home.
That was
No,
so
I'm kidding.
awful.
I'm kidding. She was just here the other
No,
day.
so we used to refer to the Rocky Horror Picture Show as bumper bowling, as bumper bowling, puberty is because you could be like an awful teenager, but there were like these little safety nets on either side to keep you from doing anything too horrible. And
I
think she's-
finally see where you were
Yeah.
going with that. now.
She's really good. She's really good. She's like dragging me down the lane of bad decisions. But anytime anything like really awful, she's like, you don't want to go there.
I don't think Vex would ever have let you or us kill off Ravenites
No.
because it helped us in the moment.
No.
So if she hadn't been there, who knows what would happen? And it's that kind of thing that she.
And he's not going to go there anymore.
I think that, and I also think, again, I'm not speaking for other characters,
No.
but like Laura and I are huge fans of the Dragonlance series and the character Raceland, and he's a dark motherfucker. And Percy's like Raceland; he's got lots of dark tendencies, and he would go down them if she weren't there to go.
Yeah, you don't want to go that way. We're going to go that way instead. This is another skydiving.
Use it for this.
Yeah, she's been a very positive influence in his.
That's
poor
what I mean. We all
decision-making.
know how love and relationships can kind of change our,
yeah.
the makeup of some of the decisions we make. It's been interesting to see that.
Yeah, I stopped killing after I fell in love.
In the game, too. Liam, question for you.
Sorry.
Question
Cut
for
back.
Never get out anymore.
Oh.
It's debatable.
Communist Libertarian wants to know.
Did
Liam.
you say communist libertarianism?
I did.
Hi, Mom.
No. It's just Communist Libertarian. Hi, Mom. Hey, Talison's mom.
Communist libertarian. All right.
Did something
Will you be at Ren
tip
Fair?
Vax off that Tyrian might actually be HOTUS in disguise, or was it just good old-fashioned paranoia? Yeah, you had that moment there. I was pretty thrown
I was
off
impressed.
by that. I was very impressed.
It had to be done at some point.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it.
Really?
No?
No.
What
you
about
don't
you?
think that Sam and Matt could have played the long game on us?
Oh,
and
totally
messed with our
now.
heads?
Now that you brought it up, it makes sense. But at the time, I was like, what are you doing? Oh.
That Tyrion Darrington was
Terry and
HOTUS?
Gary Darrington.
Tyrion Gary
Darrington.
Tyrion
Turducken.
Gary Darrington.
Turducken.
Turducken.
Shit.
That Turducken was HOTUS.
Turducken.
No,
Was
I didn't get that far. That's it. I didn't get that far.
All right, we have to do our last question. Guy with a ponytail behind the cameras, waving at me and threatening to shoot me. Question from Acid Jib
Okay.
to all.
I asked the Jim.
The show has had a theme running through it since episode 1, family. Do you think this is deliberate, or do you think it occurred naturally, and why?
That's an excellent question.
You can thank Danny, because Danny handpicked that question as the final question for the show. 'Cause she
Thank you,
loved it.
Danny.
That's Danny. That's wow.
Okay, like in Los Angeles, most of us tend to be transplants. I find that the people who grow up in Los Angeles tend to want to leave, and the people who don't grow up in Los Angeles want to be here. So there's not a lot of strong family ties here. I feel like my family's not here. So you kind of find other people to be your new chosen family. And I kind of think that slowly over time happened with us.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of the real life reflecting in our fantasy one as well.
Yeah, Vox Machina is a family because we're a family.
Yes.
You know, my whole first thought was that this game kind of inevitably feels like it leads in that direction, except no game I've ever played actually has. I think it may have been like it's like an interesting actor thing. I've never actually played like an actor game before, and I think everyone just kind of
You mean a game with mostly actors?
with actors playing instead of just like kids I knew from school or other nerds.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's ever been anything like this game.
It seems so obvious.
Period. But there's no question how important we are to each other, and I think it just bleeds through.
Yeah.
And that was true even before stream. Like the way it was like it was really, yeah.
Because now that I think of it, none of us have family in the city, do we? I don't think any of us do.
I used to. I don't anymore.
So for the most part, this is what we got.
Ash
Kind of
would be the only
adopted
one.
each other.
You really? Yeah.
Ash would be the only
Ash,
one.
yeah,
Thinking
Ash
through
is the only
everyone,
one.
Ash would be the only one.
Yeah.
Sam's sister's here.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
Sam's sister's
Right. Eden's here.
here. Momlin's here.
I thought
Is
she
it
was in
Mom?
New
No,
York.
she's in New York.
She's in New York.
She's in New York?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Answer my calls, Momlin.
If there's no Scanlan, can there be a Momlin?
This
There
is
can be a Momlin.
I was hoping Momlin could come back to play Scanlan, and then we would have the full. That was my whole hope, was that he was going to hand
Purple
Scanlan to
hat on her.
Momlin.
Yeah.
Does this make her Marion now?
Mary Momlin.
Mom Marion?
Isn't Marion the sister? Didn't he say Marion is
Sherry
the...
Darrington?
Miriam.
Marion Sherry.
Marion Sherry Marion Sherry Barrington.
Marion? Yeah,
Barry
whatever.
and Mary Sherry Barrington.
We're off the rails, guys.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to send in questions via Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. If you're on Twitter, use the hashtag AskToxMachina. See what happens since I stopped taking horse tranquilizers before the show. Also, don't forget to send in your gifts and fan art for our weekly contest. If you're on Alpha, stick around. You know, it was perfect last week.
What was?
Alpha, we had no issues, thank God. This week, same thing's gonna happen.
It's Alpha.
If you're on Alpha, stick around. We'll be back in just a minute to take some questions from the very specific Alpha chat room, which is Tox Machina
Question
submissions.
.org.
Right?
In our, right?
Question submissions, plural?
Yes, submission or submissions, Courtney?
Submissions. What did you just feathers?
Fine.
How long?
Bird bit.
Holy shit.
Gotta do a
As
bird
long
bit.
as it takes. Long as it takes.
If you're not
do
on
it to your
Alpha,
bird
we'll
one
be
day.
back next week with an all-new episode of whatever the hell this is. I would like to thank my guests, Melinda Blaze, Leave Him O'Brien, and
Can you top last week's? Can you?
Do it.
Hallelujah Jafar.
All right.
Hallelujah, Jafar.
We'll see you next week, but until then, please don't forget to love each other. And don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hallelujah. Please stop. Thank you for that slow dissolve. Before the show, I went up to the TriCaster, which is the machine that Denise mans, and there's a lever that does this. And I said, Denise, what does this lever do? And she's like, watch. And she did it, and it does that exactly what she's fucking doing right now, this dissolve effect. And so I was like, yeah, as long as you don't fuck with me during the show and mess with the thing, and then when we go to the fan art.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
What do you think, raised or fired?
I think that,
Oh,
well,
definitely
to be
raise.
fair, I was going to say being fired probably inevitably leads to a raise around here anyway, so
That's
it
true.
hardly matters, really.
can't-
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back
Yeah.
to the same show
Don't fire her.
on a different network.
Don't fire
Just
her.
promote her.
Owned
Don't
by
even give
the
her a
same
raise, just
company.
promote her.
No one will replace her. Don't fire her.
All right. But we're not going to free her.
The lever will
Welcome to
never
Talks
begin.
Machina After Dark, where questions come from an iPad instead of a piece of paper. Up first.
Did not handle that well. Good.
All right. I can't, in good conscience, ask this question, unless my conscience says it's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
That's a very kind conscience you have there.
Question for all of
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Who is that? What's going on?
You don't have a conscience.
It's Kit Buss. She's still with us, you guys.
Oh my gosh! Kid is where my nether regions are on the screen.
And that's why we have a Denise.
We are an all-powerful deity of death.
Oh my God.
And Alice.
Okay, let's begin.
Yeah.
For Matt, it says, not gonna happen.
Did they not watch the entire show previous
They don't,
to this?
because every single week I'll go, our guests are Marisha, Taliesin, and Liam.
And Matt.
Dear Matt.
First comment,
Hey, Matt.
hey Matt, or Sam. I'm like, well, they watch the show, but they can't read. We'll take fans even if you are illiterate. To all, in addition to nautical scenes / adventures, any other themed adventure you've been interested in encountering? Thank you, Sax, for this maple whiskey that just fucked up that sentence.
Well, I would like to go to hell. I mean, we're about
Yeah.
to, so that's great.
Yeah.
That worked out.
I would love to go to like that ridiculous 1950s like pitchfork hell, really ridiculous. I know that's not
Like
actually going to be
dancing
it.
little devils.
Yeah.
Yeah. With,
Steamboat
Like a-
Willie
like a-
animation.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
Steamboat,
a Squirrel Nut Zipper song kind of vibe.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to kiss you.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is a really funny question. This comes from
iPad.
Skolzlowski.
Is that correct, Kit?
That's absolutely correct.
Question for everyone.
It says the ring of
Thanks, Conscience.
authenticity to it.
It's the reverb of authenticity.
So if you guys have questions for Kit, for Kit too, that didn't get sent in on the Alpha chat, Jesus fuck. Please submit those now, and I promise I will pretend to read them well on the air. Question for everyone.
Are you getting better or worse with whiskey?
Listen,
I can't tell.
You've had like 2 sips.
Oh man, you just got
Little
shade from
column
God.
A. Little column B.
God just gave me
God
shade.
gave you shade, yeah.
You'd think I'd be better at it because I've been practicing since I was 9. Question for everyone.
For all of us. Yes.
Who do you think will be the one to accidentally kill the Kraken?
I think based on Liam's luck, maybe Vax.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a toss between me, you, and Grog. With me in the lead.
Sure, we're the clumsy fuck-ups.
I'm just gonna teach this Kraken a lesson.
Lesson,
Oh,
yeah.
he's dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Although, I don't know, Percy's had his stint of being like, I'm just gonna hit it! You've kind of done that a few times.
I have done that a few times.
I'm gonna shoot at it!
I'm gonna hit it
And
with
then they
bullets.
blame me.
It'll be fine.
Let's have a
Yeah.
quiet
Yeah.
discussion here in
That's-
this sitting room and
Yeah.
Fucking A, Keyleth.
I was trying to make an executive decision there, and I'm still getting shit about it. That's fine.
I know. It's all right. We all had a huge meeting about it, whether we should do that. That didn't happen. It was great.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Forgive me if this is a little meta. We all know how we feel about meta questions. But in between the regular Talks Machina and the Talks Machina After Dark, someone brought out a candle that's been run over by a car.
I was wondering where that came from.
It's all dirty. And
Parking lot.
I was wondering what that was.
Okay, but quick greatest moments in Talks Machina history. I think it was like episode 3 or 4. There's a fake candle right over my shoulder here. And Max, one of our producers, was lighting this candle when I came in, and he's like, man, this thing won't light. And I was like, yeah, man, there's a little switch. He's like, I've been trying to light this thing for 30 minutes, and it's also the scent is terrible. I'm like, that's
smells like
because it's
burning
fiberglass.
plastic.
I was gonna say that may have been the candle from the hobo in the parking lot giving
He
terror.
totally did that. And we were like, you're the kind of person that should run this show.
I'm still so pleased about the what happened to Sam's cup.
Guys, that
that
was
was
the
good. That
was
biggest.
amazing.
That was like one of the biggest,
That was
greatest
great.
moments ever because someone slipped it in while I wasn't looking.
It's literally been there every episode.
He's
That's what's
behind me,
even
isn't
better.
He was behind me. Hey guys, Callison.
Yes.
Tangy wants to know, in hindsight, what was your favorite thing you've ever done with your hair and least favorite?
Oh. Favorite thing I've ever done with my hair was when I was a teenager, and I had really, really long, like I had long hair. It was just when I started bleaching it, and before I'd done anything, before I really understood what could go horribly wrong, and I did half white, half black, and would braid it into a checkerboard, and I looked like I had like a vampire-y thing going on.
When you mean things that could go horribly wrong, is that like
It
when
was
your hair
later
gets
when
around
it melted.
over open flame?
No,
Yeah.
I bleached it to. I like. It was like that doesn't feel happy. What? No. Yeah, and then it's just like, and then there's.
Let's go through the
Base
list.
on
You,
here.
like, even while on this show, you had like sort of crazy braids.
I did
right?
the crazy braids.
Crazy
And there was the
braids.
bleached poof.
They're fun, but they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I've seen
And they're
photos
really
of
warm.
you as I think a teen or early 20s where you look like a little blonde vampire.
Yeah,
right?
that was
Bleached
right
blonde hair.
before that. Those were the pictures. I was 17 in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that was
When I-
right before the checkerboard.
Can you
Your
tweet a
prom
picture?
pictures-
Do you have one accessible?
I
that you
don't
could
have one
tweet later?
accessible that I. Well, yeah, I could tweet one later.
Just to
For
me?
Your prom
Just to you.
picture, you have long, dark, black hair.
No, prom picture
Right?
is white hair.
Oh, was it white?
It was
and you
white
had
hair.
you had a top hat?
Yeah.
Long white hair and a top
And a
hat.
full black lip tailcoat with the silver. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
was.
I think when I met you like a decade ago,
Yeah.
you just had like short, just your regular hair
Yeah.
color, with like super short. Have you ever had a shaved head?
Yeah, I've bicked it. I've like full on like I've like taken. I've done the Uncle Fester.
Okay.
The
That feels really
problem
good.
What
is
about the
when you and
alfalfa?
I do that, we end up looking.
No, I have a pretty decent head shape. I look like an angry, slightly overweight Aleister Crowley. It comes
Really?
together. Yeah. I look like a. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
do that. I mean, you're just like a really
I
good
like
looking,
it.
like Anglo. You're gonna look like you're in American History X.
Oh, I did. I
Yeah.
had a shaved head in high school because I skateboarded and it was just easy because
Yeah.
they always had to wear the freaking helmets
I
and
can,
stuff.
I can picture it.
Yeah.
I shave my head and like immediately you just become super polite to everybody because you know that you're making everyone nervous, especially when you're wearing like a lot of
Yeah.
black and a trench coat everywhere.
yeah.
It was just holding the door open for people. I'm like, thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. You're just
Yeah.
really nice to everybody.
Let me buy your
You
meal.
shaved your head and you became English.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's very old. There.
Hey, Kit.
Now I feel embarrassed. Hi.
Kit, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Undercover Goth wants to
Not the
know.
executive.
Not cool.
Didn't even see Towels and
Kit, when
touch
will?
his phone.
Yeah, I know. When will we get updated official character art with the vestiges?
Oh.
Undercover Goth wants. To know.
that. And it's interesting you ask that because I literally just sent an email this week just gone going, guys, do you want to go clothes shopping again? So soon, hopefully.
We just got the
That's
email.
true.
Fired off my email.
Yeah, I haven't fired mine off yet.
I need to do some Pinterest searching.
I asked.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need a collaborative
Yeah.
board. We need to Pinterest all the things.
All the things.
I asked
I'll
for
send you a
Vax.
board.
Asked for Vax all on the buck, hair part in the middle, alfalfa spike up the top.
Owl in the butt.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you said?
Alfalfa?
I thought you said owl in the butt.
That's just what you wanted to
We're in
hear.
the same room together.
I asked you earlier, find a way to
bad.
squeeze it in, and you didn't. We had to do it on alpha.
Oh, is
Marisha.
that a bad pun?
Owl in the butt.
If Keela's dad, this is from Rhino77.
This is a show.
No, it's not.
Owl
This
in the
is-
butt.
This is the
Owl
after
in the
show
butt.
for the show that's an after show. Marisha, question from Rhino77.
Hoot to toot.
What?
We're going off the rails on a crazy train.
How did you lose this interview? Get it back. Get it back.
Marisha, something about Keela's dad.
If Keela's dad
Yeah.
became incapacitated, Taliesin, you know what that means. How hard would it be for Keela to take up her dad's role? Pretty important guy.
You have to grow a beard.
Sure. He is also taking up his position because there is no current headmaster. So I'm kind of, part of the Aramente is to train to be what he's kind of doing. So I think she could do it okay. It would be like everyone else where she would have to learn some diplomacy type of things, which is kind of what her whole arc has been about. But I think she could do it. That's hopefully.
Fuck yeah, she could do it.
Yeah, she's not a.
she could.
Yeah, she could do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
I
can
get
totally
like
do it.
serious
She's a
like
queen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Naruto-
Thank you, conscience.
serious Naruto Airbender vibes
welcome.
off of her. Like, yeah, she's quirky, but she would step up and friggin' lead her people. Of course she would.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'd be fine.
And that's the thing, like, she's always going to be awkward and bumbly because no one really truly loses themselves, but they can learn to overcome their weak points, which is more or less what she's done. Because I've gotten a lot of questions about, like, oh, well, Keyleth is just so bumbly since the pirates. I feel like she's reverting. And it's like, no, she's excited. She's not totally suddenly lost all of the information that she's gained because she suddenly stepped on a pirate ship. But people don't really fully lose who they are. She'll always be giddy and excitable and a little awkward and fumbly, but she can learn to overcome those things.
I think of the Queen Elizabeth from Blackadder.
What were you gonna say, God?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that's one of my favorite things about Keyleth, though. I think actually in terms of like the whole party, everybody is they're not one-dimensional. They have their moments where they're super serious and they really pull it out the bag, and they're very like, they can be regal and they can be, you know, fucking terrifying. But they can also be derpy and silly and vulnerable, and you know, and I think that's great because it's so much more. Oh god, I can hear the reverb on my voice. That's really unnerving.
It's great.
It's so pleasing.
Yeah, it's the light and shade of it. I think that makes it it makes them more endearing.
I think two things. I have two thoughts on this. One is that, like, if you were to go back in time and stand there and watch King Arthur do his thing, or watch Cleopatra do her thing, like, King Arthur would step on a rake and hit himself in the face once in a while. You know, he's not this great infallible being. He was a real person that has been, you know, steeped in myth and legend, which we will be.
Correct.
The other thing is, this is Dungeons and Dragons, and like, if I can't use this game, like, amazing, beautiful moments come out of the story, like that we have no right to. Like, amazing things happen between us. But it is also a game. It's not one or the other. It's both things. It's Percy doing amazing things woven together with Taliesin's side commentary on it. If we can't use this game to also bust our friends up and act like idiots every Thursday night, I don't want to play it. I mean, that's the beauty of the show, is that it turns on a dime from heartbreaking to derpy. And I think that's the charm of the show.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes, like, for the average person, you're not serious and professional and, dire all the time. I imagine you like to take a break on Saturdays, which is like what we do. It's just like Tyrion in Game of Thrones. Like, we've seen his character progress. We've seen him turn into a more palpable and coherent advisor, but he still drinks and knows things. He's still
Spoiler
kind
alert.
of a drunk.
Spoiler
I-
alert.
Humiliating moments.
He still has humiliating moments. He's still kind of bumbly and figuring his shit out, but it doesn't mean he hasn't progressed.
I kind of think about where our characters would be in like 50 or your character even further. And I have a weird one that I want to throw at you that I don't know how you're gonna. Yoda.
Oh, totally.
Like I can see Keyleth like at like her version of age 900 just like
Yeah, man.
no.
Yeah. You're all seeing tricks. Sentry sees
it's
all
perfect.
things.
Fucking yeah.
That's
Just,
perfect. That's
No,
perfect.
if all goes phenomenally well for Keyleth,
Yeah, she's gonna turn to
she's
Yoda.
that crazy old woman who lives in a tree, and that's like a happy
tree.
It's
This is
the tree.
the tree.
And that's like a happy ending for her.
You're the-
That's kind of awesome.
Like
no,
the
that's
grandmother
totally-
in Moana turned up to 11.
Yes,
Yeah.
honestly, that's kind of what I hope she ends up being, that weird tribal woman who's just like, I've seen a lot of shit, but aren't these flowers beautiful? But genocide's really serious, but flowers. Like, that's where I see her being, like, kooky and insane.
Yeah.
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 No,
Vax
no
hopes to send her off towards that.
Yes, thank you. Sunset me. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No,
that what the-
no.
Isn't that what the
Don't.
Eskimos do to the elderly?
Throw him off the side of a mountain.
No, don't they like send them off on a little
Put him in
piece
a
of ice?
bathtub with a sail, and that's a cartoon.
Max, you're
about
an
it.
Oh, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Christmas special, the
I am
animatronic
thinking
one.
of that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Kekume wants to know, for everyone, how much has being on Talks Machina affected your choices in game?
Oh, not a whit.
Yeah.
No.
What about being on this derpy ass? Speaking of derpy, well, I guess because but we try to avoid questions that are,
Influenceable?
yeah, and I think you guys are so confident in where you're at and confident in the process, knowing that you don't need to plan out what's going to happen in order to make a good game. You know that the formula, and all the
tried, it
pieces are
doesn't
already
work.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
because
tried.
you got 6 other people who make decisions that can totally fuck up whatever you had planned out.
What's your little saying about plans?
Oh, God.
God laughs.
Announcing your plans is a good
God
way to-
laughs.
Yeah,
man
man
plans,
plans,
God
God
laughs.
laughs.
Announcing your plans is a good way to make God laugh. Is
Yeah.
something
Yes.
Milk
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
I do laugh at you guys an awful lot.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thanks.
Go.
As
She's the
do
best.
their
I miss her so much.
spouses. For the whole cast, after Marisha's whiskey and something, what's the worst drink combo you've tried? Personally, Kev Dak Prescott, you poor soul. Personally, tequila and peppermint schnapps.
Bless you.
Oh.
First of all,
Oh boy.
you made a boo-boo. Kev Dak Prescott.
I believe in you, Kev Dak Prescott. So at my goth club at Bunker, when we used to go to Bunker, I had a friend who turned me on to the worst drink in the world, which was the delicious sandwich. Do you remember the delicious sandwich at Bunker?
Nope.
Which was 3 fingers of the house whiskey followed by lukewarm pink grapefruit juice in a glass, in a tall glass. And it was the worst thing. And it was just like, it was a drink that you drank because no one was gonna steal it from you. It was gonna fuck you up. It was great.
We, a classic LA drink is the LA water.
Yeah.
Have you had an LA water?
No.
It's basically a Long Island iced tea
Yeah.
with blue Curaçao. Curaçao?
Curacao.
Caruso. That blue
David
shit.
Caruso.
David Caruso.
Curacao.
See, this is, I think, bad drinks in LA. It's obviously something that you build up to, you kind of work up a tolerance to. Because I remember when we came out, you guys serve, I'm pretty sure you guys serve drinks stronger in the US than we serve them in the UK. Because I just remember having like, I think I ordered like a Jack and Coke or something when we went out. And I remember having to literally sit still for an hour while Taliesin laughed at me because I couldn't see straight.
You were adorable.
So whatever you guys are drinking, it's because you've lived in LA for a long time and you've built up a tolerance to it. So I think to outsiders, pretty much anything served in LA is deadly.
Oh yeah, we all
No,
tend to
that's
be.
true.
We all definitely tend to be honorary Kennedys around here. That's
is.
for sure.
Yeah, like Yeah, no, we've had some strong alcoholics in this city with a history of strong alcoholism. We're pretty solid in it.
Yeah.
Kit.
Definitely afternoon.
Kit.
Oh, yes.
Effer Mayu Mirau
Love that effort.
wants to know, what Vox Machina NPC would you be inspired to draw next that you haven't done already, and why?
I know this is a really crappy answer. I probably couldn't pick one because they're all so good. Because just the way Matt just pulls it out the bag, he's so good at just immediately kind of conveying an impression, and you're sitting there and you just think, oh God, I know exactly how this person looks. I know exactly what the body language is, and he gives such good descriptions. I've got like this list of all of the NPCs that I haven't done yet, and sometimes I'm a bit intimidated to do them because because obviously we get the episode the day after here in the UK and in Europe, and I'll log on to Twitter, and like I follow so many critter artists, and every single artist on my feed will have done an interpretation of this NPC, and I'm just like, I can't add anything new to this. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah. It's got to be.
They're all so good.
Yeah, there's so much art coming out now. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Who would you guys want to? I would say Sinecure for me. I want to see what her take on Sinecure would be.
He's been mined pretty heavily.
Not by Kit though.
Oh, by Kit specifically.
Yeah, I would want to see her take.
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
true. That is true.
By Kit specifically?
Raishan would be interesting.
Yeah.
Raishan would be good,
And-
yeah. Have you done Kima yet, Kit?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did Kima
Yes.
a little while ago.
Okay.
Yep.
But I've seen like a bunch of interpretations of her that are all really amazing. So, yeah. Yeah, maybe Senecure next then.
Well, you're welcome, Kit.
Black powder.
Victor?
I would also weirdly like. I would like to see
I'll take all my cues from you.
Okay.
Victor? Oh God, how did I
The
know?
Victor?
Sphinxes. I'd like to see the Sphinxes
Yeah, Victor.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
the
very
Sphinxes.
excited to send you my new designs. I'm excited.
Oh, someone asked.
Yes.
Someone asked Kit if you had any plans on drawing Captain Adela.
Yeah.
Your space prince
Yeah,
asked.
Big favorite.
She is also on the list. Like, I don't know if anybody's read the Gentleman Bastard series by Scott Lynch.
No.
Which is amazing. But there's a character, kicking myself because I can't remember her name now, but she's a pirate captain in the second book, Red Seas Under Red Skies, and she's like this middle-aged black mum pirate captain, and she's amazing. And it sort of resonated because I was just like, oh yeah, this is I could picture that. So yeah, Adela's definitely on the list as well. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I was picturing Tara in my head when Matt described that character.
Who?
Which one?
Oh, the
We know
pirate
a
captain.
few.
Oh, the Tara
Tara.
from Harley Quinn. Tara.
Tara Strand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Strong.
not the voice actor. Our cosplay friend.
No.
Yeah.
Which is Strand.
Strand. It's really complicated.
A lot of tires and tires.
Yeah, Tara Strong's voice
Have you ever
actress,
seen her
Tara
pirate?
Strand,
Her in her
cosplayer.
pirate garb. She has like a whole pirate costume.
Yeah,
with, like
she's
the
got
braids,
the
and she
big
just does like
poofy hair. Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
great.
she's awesome.
Are we almost out of time, Max? We're almost out of time. Couple of last questions. From Blink
182.
100 and
to the ships. To the ships.
Oh, to the ships.
No, to the ships. Do you prefer Vaxleth or Kiki Dan? Persalia or Vexival?
Persalia is easier to say.
Yeah, Vaxlith is also easier.
what is this question?
The ship
Taliesin
names.
is
Ship
obviously
names.
So we
Percalia.
have Vaxleth.
Do you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Kit says
and-
Percalia.
Like
Percalia?
Kiki Dan,
A after a
what's going on?
C.
It is an A after a C, I know, but we don't
Kiki
speak the
and
Queen's English here,
Vaxilthon.
Kit.
Yeah.
We speak dog shit.
As opposed to Vaxleth?
So we don't know.
Which
People
do we
don't
like
know
better?
that
Vaxleth.
it's supposed to be pronounced
Guttural
that
monkey
way.
drawl.
Easier to
They are
say.
the guttural
Easier to
monkey
say.
drawl of the
Yeah.
Americans.
So we have to give a definitive answer. No, we don't.
No, we
Who
don't.
gives a shit? I say, Keyleth and Vax hereby are called
Catholics.
Kavaxlith,
Kavaxlith.
Vaxlith.
Vaxleth.
Kavixlith.
and
Kravixlith.
Percy and Vex are hereby known as Vex Pecs.
So say we all.
Perfect.
That feels like it's just a little sprinkle of Travis in there for good measure.
I like that.
He brings the pecs.
Vex Pecs.
Could always use
Yeah.
a
We can
sprinkle
always
of Travis.
Oh,
A nice.
doing his flower girl routine.
That'll come out with seltzer.
show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
Travis isn't watching this. You want to know why?
He's watching
Sports ball.
Football, playing Call of Duty.
It's leg day.
Atlantic Housewives.
Leg day.
It's
What?
leg day.
It's
leg
leg day.
That's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Thank you.
Was that a joke or were you being serious?
Or a bit of both.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you again for joining us on Talks Machine After Dark.
Leg day. Leg day edition.
Does it ever do that to your autocorrect? If you autocorrect? If you type in Talks Machina, it'll change it to Talks Machine.
It just turns it to leg
Bunch
day.
of people on Reddit who don't read who's going to be on the show, they'll write such and such Talks Machine. Thanks again for watching Talks Machine After Dark on Alpha. Thank you to Courtney for collating and messaging me the questions on the iPad. Thank you to my guests who I named earlier. Thank you to you, viewer. Thank you,
Nailing
Kit.
it.
We love you, Kit. Thank you so much. Please go to bed. Please go to bed. We love you.
Kid.
Okay,
Love
thank you for
you.
watching,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Please watch Critical Role Thursday and watch Wednesday Club tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to wake up for Wednesday
At
Club.
what
It's gonna be
time?
great.
12 o'clock?
At noon. Wednesday Club at noon.
Noon to 2?
Noon to 2.
Twitch.tv/Geek and Sundry. Watch
be great.
Tallison, Eric. Who's going to be on this week?
Amy and Matt Key are Amy Danlin and Matt Key, we're going to be talking about
Amy and
Legion, the Legion X-Men show, the comic book that the show is based off of, and a little bit of Doom Patrol, a little bit of Hank Pym. It's going to be mental health issues in comic books. It's going to be fun. We're going to go through all sorts of stuff.
Have you been reading like lots of Wikipedia pages to learn things about comics in preparation for the show?
No, I've been mostly just kind of watching Rick and Morty reruns and like thinking about getting work done.
Okay.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah.
But you have been reading comics for about 30 years,
For a long
aka
time.
your whole life.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of comic books.
Sure.
Like 20, 25.
So
Rick and
that's pretty
Morty.
great.
It's pretty good.
Season
Yeah.
3 is going to be pretty good. It's going to be
Can't
pretty good.
wait.
Rick and Morty season 3. Okay,
Show me
that's
what
it.
you got.
Good night, Alpha. Good night, world.
Get swifty.
Good night, Moon. Good night, girl. We'll see you next week.
Shit on the floor. Get swifty in here.
My dad's not a phone.
Still out.